What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and there is some breaking news this morning regarding the new interim role at Tottenham Hotspur. Matty Moretto breaking this morning that Tottenham are considering Igor Tudor. He's a strong candidate for the bench. First contacts are already underway, and it is only as an interim role. Damasio also saying that Tottenham have offered Igor Tudor a contract up until June for the Croatian coach. Is he Croatian coach?
Yeah, Croatian.
And then Damasio said Igor Tudor has verbally agreed a deal with Tottenham to become the new head coach. And Fabrizio Romano as well, saying that Igor Tudor has informed Tottenham he's ready to accept the short-term deal until June as new Spurs interim coach. Negotiations at an advanced stage for Igor Tudor to take the hot seat from now until June. So this one's come out of pretty much nowhere.
We say that.
I mean, at this moment in time, it's come out of nowhere because, we were talking about interims. Nobody was talking about Igor Tudor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
but we heard a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, look, it's been a deal that has been mentioned in the past via Fabio Paratici, but Fabio Paratici's out the door. So I thought, there's no chance of it. I just said to you off air, I guarantee you this is a case of the hierarchy knowing of the interest from Fabio 4 months ago or however long ago it was. Vinay and Lange saying, no, this ain't happening. Frank is here to stay. And now they've pulled the plug on it. They've, stamped on their toes. They've undermined Vinay and Lange. And they're saying, we're going back to Fabio Paratici's original plan. Now Fabio's out the door, which is just crazy when you think about it.
Fabio is still running the show, even post leaving the club, it seems. It's beyond the grave. He's still got a lasting effect. It's pretty crazy. So we heard... I don't know if it might have been in the reports like publicly, but we heard 4 months ago after the Arsenal game, Fabio wanted to install Igor Tudor to replace Frank because he'd lost trust in Frank. He was never on board with it in the first place, but obviously once he's in sporting director, he's obviously going to give it a go. But once that Arsenal game happened, he was ready to install Igor Tudor as an interim till the end of the season, or even as a potential permanent or especially short term. So this isn't kind of new in terms of this was muted a while ago. As you say, we didn't agree, the hierarchy didn't agree at the time, and now we're here when we're in a relegation battle here in February. Things have gone to absolute shit. We've been losing games, the football's been awful, and now we need something to get us out of the relegation battle. So it looks like we've turned to Igor Tudor now. Igor Tudor's a very interesting guy and manager. I remember him when he was playing. He was a very good centre-back back in the day. But his managerial career has been a very chaotic one, I think it's fair to say.
Since 2013, he's had 11 jobs. 11 jobs. Hajduk split.
Nearly a job a year.
Hajduk split, PAOK, Karatspor in Turkey. He got the Galatasaray job on the back of that. Went to Udinese for a short stint. Left in June and then came back in March until November. So 2 stints in Udinese in the space of 2 years. Hajduk split again. Hellas Verona, Marseille, Lazio, Juventus last season, and being sacked this season.
He was manager. It was interesting because they hired him, I think, as an interim initially, and then did give him the full-time job. They hired him because Motta was a disaster, so they sacked him, brought Tudor in, I think is interim. Then they gave him the full-time job in the summer, and then he was gone by October. So it's hard to judge him basically just on Juve, because Juve have just been a bit of a mess, haven't they? They've been going from manager to manager ever since losing Allegri a while ago and going for Pirlo, then back to Allegri, then Motta, then so many different managers in recent years. It's been a bit of a mess. But Tudor, he's a wild one. He seems to be one who comes in for a short time, not even necessarily a good time either, just a short time usually. Maybe that's what we're looking for, just a little boost, a little kind of shot in the arm, someone who's going to get into these players. Apparently he's a very aggressive character. He does like to play front-footed, attacking football, aggressive football, energetic football. He's one who likes to entertain. That's what he said. That's what he's been saying in interviews and stuff like that. I know his Juve side, I think one of his last games when he was Juve manager was a 4-4 draw with Dortmund. And I remember watching that game. That was an absolutely crazy game. So maybe that's something we're going to get used to in the next period of the season. I remember he was Marseille manager when we played them in the Champions League. We obviously beat them twice. Richarlison scoring a brace at home, and they were down to 10 men. And that Højbjerg late goal, late winner in what was a very memorable night. But yeah, Marseille were unlucky that night, I remember, but they did finish bottom of that group. So I don't know how much you can take from that. At the end of the day, we just need someone to come in, instill some belief, play on the front foot, who sets some standards as well, and I think he might be able to do that. People are saying, look, this guy doesn't last a long time. We don't need him to last a long time. He's here coming in as interim, and maybe if he wins all 12 games, maybe he'll get the job permanently, but he's coming in just to keep us up and to get us to stabilise us, get us into mid-table, then he'll move on, and that's it, and that's all we need him to do. So I'm not sitting here saying I'm wildly excited about this appointment, and I think it's a brilliant appointment. I just think if they think he can keep us up, then maybe he can. Now, a lot of people are worried, saying, is this confirming our relegation? Is this appointment, are we destined to go down now because of this appointment? I mean, I don't know who everyone, as you know, off air was saying, who do you expect as an interim? What kind of manager do you think? Are we going to get any better than him? Reality is probably not. Unless you're looking at a Heitinga, which a lot of people are saying, or a Harry Redknapp, which a lot of people were all of a sudden on board with, a 79-year-old manager who hasn't managed in 10 years. I know this guy has a chaotic CV, but he has managed a lot of big clubs. Whether he's done well at any of them he hasn't exactly done great. But, I've also seen a few people saying in the short spell he's done at a few clubs, he's actually stabilised them and done okay. So maybe it makes sense.
I think I'm looking at his last 3 jobs and the stats behind them. So the Marseille one, he was in 4th of July 2022 until the 1st of June 2023, 48 games, 27 wins, 8 draws and 13 losses, which is a 56% win rate, scoring 82 goals, conceding 51 goals, which is plus 31. Lazio, he was at until March and until June, so 11 games, 6 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses, scoring 15 goals in 11 games, conceding 9. So I think so he concedes a lot and scores a lot. Juventus, he was at March 2025 until October 2025, playing 24 games, 10 wins, 8 draws, 6 losses, 41% win ratio, scoring 39 and 29. And I think if he can get between that 40 and 55% win ratio, that's going to be fine for me. That's fine for me. That's all we need from now until the end of the season.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we need like 3 to 4 wins to stay up out of 12 games. So 30% is about 3 wins, isn't it? So I don't know, my maths is right there. Well, maybe it's at 4 wins, but so if he can get to 45%, like.
Yeah, here we go. Ornstein.
Oh, my word.
Tottenham Hotspur reached verbal agreement with Igor Tudor to become interim head coach. 47-year-old Croatian set to join Tottenham on a contract until the end of the season. No permanent option. Arrived with big club experience, process led by Venkatesham and Lange. What lies is that? I've never heard such lies in my life.
They led by after a cheeky call to Fabio. Definitely Fabio was the one who spoke to Tudor. I guarantee you, he was like, look, I know I've left, but just do these guys a favour, just get them out of the shit. Like, I know you should have been appointed a few months ago, and maybe we could have still challenged for Europe, but just do us a favour, just save them. We'll give you a little bonus, £5 million survival bonus. All right, the next call is going to be from Vinay Lange. Pretend you haven't spoken to me, but this deal's done, yeah.
I'm looking at this, right, and I'm seeing a lot of negative reactions over social media, and I'm thinking, like, this isn't a long-term thing for Tottenham. This is just to get us out the ship from now until the end of the season. Like, I don't get the whole negativity around it. I'm seeing, like, tweets saying, all right, so we've confirmed that we're going down this season. Like, what more do you want? What do you want as an interim? No serious manager is coming here on an interim role. This is probably the most serious that we can get.
Well, Spurs Gamer says I'm fuming with
but why?
Emojis.
But why? Why is this something to be fuming about?
I guess it's not an exciting appointment in a sense that he's not exactly done well at many of his clubs. So he's just been sacked by a big club in Juventus, and you're looking at the situation and thinking we need someone who's going to keep us up. And it's it's a concern that he hasn't exactly done well in any of his other clubs, and everywhere he seems to have gone very quickly, and he seems to have a bit of a hothead. He resigns a lot.
But he's going here quickly as well. That's the whole point.
I agree with you. The fact of the matter is an interim. It's 12 games. The last time...
would you guys prefer Ryan Mason? Would you prefer... who would you prefer? Would you prefer Johnny Heitinger? Because these are our options.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are thinking, could we go down the Carrick path or the Ollie
Who
path?
is the Carrick path?
No, let me land. They're saying, should we go down one of those paths where we get like a club legend who understands the club, who can get into these players and just get us a little bounce from that point of view. But I agree, but there's no real... Apart from Robbie Keane, who has a permanent job right now, there's no real guy in management who you can confidently say, yeah, get this guy in. All the players will respect him straight away because he's a legend, and he will get us that little boost we need. So I think we needed a manager who's got experience managing at top clubs. And I know he doesn't have great experience in terms of he's never really been a massive success anywhere, and he's not lasted long. But in terms of the job he has done, I'm looking at the stats as you showing them. He has on average 45 to 50% over his career. So that's good enough for us if he can do that. The last time he was in charge of an 11-game stint, I can see, was Lazio, and he won 6 of those games.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. If he can do that for us, absolutely, we'd all take that. So I think in terms of what the evidence suggests this guy can get the job done. And so that's all we need. Is it the Serie A, Sam Allardyce, whatever? I don't care. He's apparently as well he likes to play a bit more attacking football. If he can just do that, all he has to do, score a few more goals, play a bit more attacking football, win a few more games, and get us back to mid-table, or even whatever, lower mid-table, 13th, 14th, doesn't matter, just above the relegation zone. That's all he needs to do. And I think this guy should be able to do it seems.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, another thing to consider as well is that he seemed to get a bit of a tune out of Randall Kolo Muani last season for Juventus. So Muani might be thinking of Igor Tudor coming in and being like, you know what? This is a manager I can get behind and play under.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe Muani will be excited about this potential appointment. I don't know if anyone else in our squad has played under him, but I can't think because he's been to so many clubs. I know we've got a lot of players, so I don't know if any of the careers line up. But
don't think we've got players that have played for Lazio or Marseille.
Matt Law now, saying he's agreed. It's all going to happen. I wonder if when there will be an announcement about it, because it seems as though it's all in the pipeline. It's all happened.
Yeah, it looks like this is a done deal, people.
But doesn't it also make a mockery of the fact that Paratici has left? And,
100%.
And we've got Vinay and Lang, whereas this was Paratici's recommendation 4 months ago. Apparently, Paratici left because a part of the reason anyway was because he wanted Frank gone. They didn't listen to him, and he wanted Tudor through the door. Now, during the January transfer window, he's gone to Fiorentina, and we're left with Vinay and Lange, and we've backed their vision. And within a few weeks, we've gone, okay, these guys actually don't know what they're talking about. Let's go to what Fabio was saying and get Tudor in. But we don't have Fabio anymore. So the club must be regretting that decision. We all said at the time, out of all the guys making footballing decisions, our Vinay, Lange and Fabio obviously would rather keep Fabio than those two, because those two seem like bozos when it comes to it. Fabio, at least, as much as he's not perfect, he seems to know a lot about football. He has a lot of contacts, and he's been a sporting director at a successful sporting director.
He's got a lot of contacts at Juventus.
Yeah, but whatever we want to say about that he was part of Juventus's most successful time, wasn't he? When they were winning leagues time and time again, he was their sporting director. So he knew what he was doing at that time. So when it comes to that, obviously Fabio, we can trust him more than we can trust those other two guys. Now we've allowed him to go. We haven't backed Fabio. We've backed the other two guys. And now we're left in this situation, which is... And now Vinay and Lange are going to be out the door.
Now we've backed Fabio without him even being here, which is just a crazy situation. It just carries on the incompetencies that are shown at boardroom level at Tottenham Hotspur, which is just mind-boggling. But Ali Gold has said that Tudor looks set to become Spurs' new interim coach until the summer after agreeing terms. He'll have the opportunity to stake his claim for the permanent role as well.
Yeah, which obviously I
Can't see
think,
that happening, really.
No, I can't see it, especially with De Zerbi Pochettino or De Zerbi being available in the summer, and obviously that's our number one choices. But here's the reality: we do have 12 games, and we do have a Champions League campaign. If he goes on a crazy run in the Champions League, and he also has a fantastic league campaign, there's obviously a chance, isn't there? You can never say never, can you? Let's say he wins all 12 games and gets us to a semi-final of the Champions League. All of a sudden you're thinking maybe he is worth a go.
Yeah.
Is that actually going to happen though? Probably not. The reality is he's probably going to win. He's probably going to win a third, draw a third, lose the third. That would be enough to keep us up, but not exactly convincing results. We'll probably get knocked out in the round of 16 of the Champions League, and then that'll be that. I will take that right now because that'll keep us in the Premier League. That's all we need him to do. But let's hope. Look, he can stake a claim. Who knows? He wouldn't be the first interim to have won a Champions League, would he?
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. And Sammy Motbell, BBC, saying, it's agreed. It's all agreed. Head coach till the end of the season. So, look, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I don't think we could have got much better, to be honest, as an interim from now until the end of the season. I think he's good enough to keep us up. He's going to play probably a 3-4-3 system, high intensity, aggressive football. From what his other clubs suggest, score a lot of goals, can concede a lot of goals, and maybe add a bit of fresh impetus and energy into this team, which is desperately needed right now. So, yeah, look, let's see how it goes, people. His first game is the North London derby.
According to David Ornstein, so he has the reason for the appointment. He has a track record. He has experience at big clubs, and he does have a track record of making immediate impacts.
All right.
That's something that it says Vina and Johan Lang have driven the 47-year-old's interim appointment, with the club set to select from a wider pool of candidates in the summer. Obviously, his next game is in the North London derby. Tudor was sacked by Juventus after several months in charge in October, with the side in 8th place. His dismissal came after a winless 8-game run. After making 174 appearances over 9 years and 2 league titles with Juve, Tudor began his coaching career at Hajduk Split in 2013. He has since had spells at PAOK Salonika, Karabukspor, Galatasaray, Udinese, before joining the Turin-based side as part of Pirlo's coaching staff in 2020. Then left there at the end of that season and then coached at Hellas Verona, Marseille, and Lazio. Frank's departure after 8 months in charge and departed after 8 months in charge, and they're working through contingency plans after the 2-1 loss. The Dane. Then he goes on to say, okay, that's just about Frank. Then there's James Horncastle. He says, what will true Tudor bring to Tottenham? Tudor has considerable experience as interim. He came in at Lazio in March 2024 and qualified for the Europa League. He then replaced Motta at Juventus last spring and ensured they didn't miss out on Champions League. Juventus kept him on as they underwent structural changes within the club. Damien Comoli, formerly of Tottenham, moved from general manager to chief executive at Juventus and then appointed a new executive team. Tudor was then sacked in October. He remained on their books until a contract resolution freed him to pursue other opportunities in the new year. Tudor worked with Tottenham's old co-sporting director Fabio whilst assistant to Pirlo at Juventus. He knows Kulusevski and Bentancur from that time. Although will he be able to manage him? He also
you looked at me like saying, "Oh, that's good. That's good."
You won't be able to use them. He also.
Although there was a picture of Kulusevski in the gym today.
All right. Maybe Decky was waiting for Frank to go before coming back. He also worked with Randall Kolo-Muani last season. Tudor will bring discipline to Tottenham. It remains to be seen how this squad fits the 3-4-2-1 he tends to play since deployed that system at Hellas Verona, where he first stood out as coach. A 3-4-2-1.
I like
similar
that.
to Glasner, similar to what you've been playing recently.
Yeah.
Which I do think, in terms of our players, does suit them.
But right now, with the current couple of players that we have fit, do we have enough players to fulfill each role? If we say Porro should be back, Spence is back, obviously. We got Souza, we got no. So I guess Porro, Spence, wing backs, back three, of Van der Ven. Well, Romero's out, so
Dragusin,
Van der Ven,
Palhinha.
Dragusin, Palhinha.
Or maybe even Gray if Spencer's
I
back.
prefer Palhinha there.
Yeah.
Midfield 2 of who? Gallagher and Sarr.
Gallagher, Sarr, or Gray, or Basuma, but yeah, Gallagher, Sarr.
Yeah. And then Javi, Tel.
Moani. Moani comes back into the fray, I say.
Moani probably starts for him, doesn't he?
I think.
Over Solanke?
No, Moani in one of the tents.
Oh, you reckon Moani in one of the tents?
Javi, Moani, Solanke.
Because he played Moani as out and out striker, didn't he? At his time at Juve?
Yeah, I think he did actually. I think he did. Let me see. I think it was a bit of a mix, but I think it was mainly striker. Let's see what Transfermarkt say. So anyway, but that's if he can get just a couple goals out of Moani, that would be phenomenal. He played, mostly centre forward. A couple of games on the right wing.
So when he was at Juve, was it also a 3-4-3 or 3-4-1-2-1, whatever it is?
Let's see. It's look. If he can make an instant impact.
Mate, can you imagine he beats Arsenal?
Oh, then give him the job. Give him the job.
Instant hero.
Give him the job.
I'm loving Tudor instead.
Fantastic.
If Arsenal play anything like they did last night, then there's no reason why we can't.
So Tudor came in March, didn't he?
Yeah.
So they were playing 4-3-8, moved to a 3-4-2-1.
Yeah.
Even a 3-5-2 at times. He actually was pretty good last season, from what I can see. And then it all went a bit wrong this season. Came in March. They changed to a 3-4-2-1, and they only lost one game in 8 games, last 8 games, and won 5.
Yeah, look, like I said, I really do not mind this at all, and I don't get the overly negative reaction to it. I feel like Spurs as a fan base always just looking for something to get overly negative about.
Yeah, I guess it's just not a name where you're like, it's not a permanent appointment. It's not a name where you're like, wow.
But as an interim, what can you expect?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But
what can you expect?
The reality is, you cast your mind back to a few days ago after losing to Newcastle, and after Frank's gone, we're sitting here like, what the hell are we going to do? Are we going to appoint Heitinger? Who's going to? Look, the reality is, everyone's being negative about this year, but literally. You cast your mind back to a few hours ago, everyone was pining for bloody Harry Redknapp. That's who they're going for. That's how on our knees we were. So I think Igor Tudor's a fine appointment.
And you look at all the other interims that we've had, Stellini, Mason, Chris Hughton, like all these guys, like Tudor is a cut above all of those.
Yeah. And he's got the experience. I'm not sitting here saying he's a phenomenal coach and we're going to win everything and now let's look at Europe and all this kind of stuff. But the reality is we are in survival settings and we just need someone to come in, have a bit of an instant boost, win a few games and that's it. And I think he can do that. He's got experience doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So a bit like Ron Sill, does what it says on the tin.
Exactly.
And he's going to come in, he's going to save us from relegation, stable us from now until the end of the season, and then we move on. And then we go our separate ways and hopefully bring Pochettino back.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a better person to just be the in-between between us and Pochettino, to be honest.
Out of the guys who have been banded about and the guys that are available, as an interim, I think this has been the best option that has been spoken about, in my opinion.
Yeah. I can't see any... anywhere where he's just gone and not won any games, and I know he's gone quickly in a lot of places, but he's won a few games wherever he's been, and that's all he needs to do here. Literally, just win 3 games. That's all. We're not really asking the world, are we?
Yeah.
So that's all he needs to do, and he's got a track record of doing that everywhere he's gone.
We did a poll, so if you want to vote in that, you can vote. It's pinned to the live chat. Are you happy with Igor Tudor as interim? 40% saying yes, 60% saying no. So why, out of the guys that have said no, why are you not happy with this? What is the reasons that you're not happy with this? I really want to know.
I think when it came to when we were linked with him 4 months ago, and I was like, okay, what are we doing, right? But at that point, there was still so much of the season left. We were in November. I don't like the thought of appointing an interim for that amount of time. I would like to have gone for some more permanent, and I wouldn't want Igor Tudor for that amount of time. But right now, in February, with 12 games to go, the situation we are in, I'm absolutely fine with it, to be honest. I don't think I can expect a better kind of appointment.
Let's just get through the season.
Yeah,
get through the season, and then we go again.
All we need to do is just need a different voice in that dressing room. We need, if he can have the impact he had at Juve last year, that would be perfect. He has experience managing Kolo Muani. Maybe he can get something out of him over the next few months. Look, I've got no hope for the Champions League. So I'm not going to sit here saying he's going to do anything in that Champions League. Maybe he can get us a few extra million by getting us through a round or two. But look, he ain't going to win that. But you never know. But he ain't going to win that. All he has to do is stabilise us a bit and just get the fans as well enjoying their football again. And he's got experience playing like aggressive, attacking, front-footed football. That's what he does. So if he's going to do that, then whatever, that's fine. That's absolutely fine with me. And he's got 12 days now, or he's going to have a week for the Arsenal. But I'm guessing he's going to start work on Monday. He's going to have a week to prepare for that Arsenal game. Arsenal have a midweek game, so we're going to have a few more days to prepare.
They would have played three times before we last played.
So if he can get a result against Arsenal, then that's all we have to do. That's all he has to do, really, in the short term. Just get something out of that game, even if it, get a few injuries on their side.
Yeah, with us now confirming the interim, well, not officially confirmed, but all but confirmed. Does that suggest that it will be Pochettino in the summer?
100%. I think the only reason you wait till the summer is if you're going for Poch, because
there could be another name that they have, and I've got some other names to talk about.
Potentially, I think De Zerbi's on the list. I really, truly believe if they really wanted him, we could have gone for him now. I know he said he wants to wait till the summer, but I think we could have gone for him now. I think we could have convinced him to come in. Not maybe now, but maybe he has a few weeks break and then come in. I think we could have, or maybe a week break. He's got 12 days between now and the Arsenal game. I think we could have probably convinced him to come in during that time if he truly wanted it, because he wants to return to the Premier League. There's no guarantee he gets any other Premier League job. This one's open right now, so he can either take it or leave it, kind of thing. But I don't think we really wanted him. I don't truly believe that. I think he's on the list because he's a good manager. But yeah, go on. What are the other names?
So Matt Law is reporting that Marco Rose and Edin Terzic have been added to Tottenham's list as club have started to interview candidates to succeed Thomas Frank. Both of these are interesting because Marco Rose, out of nowhere last night, became the book in Germany. Edin Terzic is also an interesting one because he obviously got Borussia Dortmund to the Champions League final, didn't he? And Matt Law says Edin Terzic is interested in taking the Tottenham job, having turned down several approaches from European clubs in order to manage in the Premier League. So he's desperate for a Premier League job, Edin Terzic. And I think he's a name that we've been linked to in the past. I think he had that mad season at Dortmund, didn't he, where they got to the Champions League final and they bottled the league on the last day.
Oh, they were top going to the last day and they lost, didn't they?
Yeah. So, I mean, but what a season that is. Like, to go into the top over Bayern Munich last day of the season and get to the Champions League final. All right, they didn't get over the line. Very much Poch vibes there. But, yeah, what's your thoughts on Edin?
Yeah, he did a great job, but then he was gone the next season.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly do well the next season. But people are very down on him. They think his football isn't great. He doesn't seem to have much of a philosophy. He just seems to be only adapting without really having some sort of set way of playing, which can be a good thing, but why has no one touched him ever since he's gone? If he's that good, there's something telling me about.
Well, they're saying he has. He's turned down several approaches.
From who?
From European clubs. Because he wants to move to the Premier League.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll trust him with a big project based on that job he did at Dortmund. I know he had a good season, but in terms of a long-term thing, I don't know. I think we could have had him.
You know what I would like? I would like Edin Terzic to come in as the interim. I think he could have been a decent interim because, like, with that Champions League experience as well,
that's
of
fair.
getting to a final.
I would have taken him as interim 100%, but not a permanent. I wouldn't appoint him as a permanent. I think that's too much of a risk, in my opinion. When it comes to Marco Rose, he managed Xavi, didn't he? At Leipzig.
At Leipzig, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he has experience there playing that like 4-2-2-2, I think. He comes in. He didn't do great at Dortmund, although they finished second. He didn't do great. He was only last a year. Went to Leipzig. He did a pretty good job there, but then he ended up falling short in the end, although he did win a cup. I don't know too much about him. I just know the Dortmund fans I know didn't like him particularly much. Again, it doesn't seem like a guy I would trust too much, to be honest. I just think when you've got Poch or De Zerbi, they've got the Premier League experience. They're safer bets. I don't know if Terzic or Rose would be my ones I'd trust to a point. Doesn't seem like great fits.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about either of them. I need to know more about them, to be honest, before I make an actual judgment on it. But they are interesting names to be added to the list. But yeah, look, I feel that all roads just lead to Pochettino. I feel that's the plan of the club. I think that's what the club are going to do. I think it's an easy win for the club, and let's just get it done.
I think after the Frank debacle and after all the club have been talking, I think they are going to want to make a bit of a statement with the next manager appointment. They're going to want to show they're ambitious, right? They're going to want to show the fans, look, we're here to win and blah, 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 and we want to get Spurs back to challenging. And look, whether you think Pochettino represents that, I think it's an appointment that can get everyone back on side very quickly. I think they want my point is they're going to want a big name, I think. They want a big name. I don't think Rose or Terzic's going to do it. I think Poch would do it. De Zerbi might do it. But I think they're going to want a name.
Yeah, I think Poch trumps them all, to be honest. And do you think that with Pochettino they could announce it before the World Cup, before the end of the season?
They could, but I just remember Lopetegui. They did that, and they sacked him before the World Cup started because he was already thinking of post.
The thing is, would Poch want that? Would he mind that?
Would he want it? I don't know. I think he wants to manage at the World Cup. It's a good opportunity.
I don't think they'll care too much, the US national team. I think he was literally just brought in for this World Cup. Get them competitive at the World Cup. So I don't think the USA would mind that too much. Maybe they'll announce it before. Maybe I wouldn't be shocked. I'd like to know what's going on. I wouldn't want it to be a whole summer of confusion. So definitely, I think let's get it sorted as soon as possible. But at the end of the day, he has got a job to do. So if he's saying, look, let's just wait to get it all sorted, then that's what we've got to do. I want to know from you guys out there, what's your thoughts on Marco Rose and Edin Terzic? Would you like to see one of them given the job? Let us know. Put a comment in the comment section. Rose, Terzic or Pochettino? Where are you guys' heads at? I think I know which way you guys are going to go, but let us know if any of those two do stand out for you. But that is the news right now in terms of the manager situation. Igor Tudor is all but announced as the interim manager till the end of the season. First game doesn't come any bigger with the North London derby. And Rose and Terzic have been mooted about a potential summer appointment. And obviously the Pochettino rumours are always going to be there. So
what I think Tudor will bring is definitely a bit more passion. He seems like a guy who doesn't take any shit, does he? He doesn't take anything from the players or anything. So any sort of lack of professionalism.
I don't know, but like judging by what his face looks like, he looks like that.
I think that's the kind of character he is. He seems like a bit of a volatile character as well. So I think he instantly can command that respect from the players, which Frank just wasn't able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we'll see how it all works out. Scrap that. Scrap the reacts.
Have we announced it?
The reacts. We have just got those 3 words from Fabrizio Romano. Breaking news, Igor Tudor becomes the new Tottenham interim coach until 2026, as revealed earlier. He's accepted the job and ready to stay until the end of the season. Main candidates for the permanent job is Roberto De Zerbi and Pochettino. I mean, I thought we got... there we go. Here we go. There you have it.
There you go. So Igor Tudor will be the next Tottenham interim
Signed,
manager.
sealed and delivered, people. We have our new interim head coach.
Wow, I think, yeah, and I'm intrigued to see how he does. I'm intrigued to see what he can do in a very short space of time, because I think he's the kind of character who'll bring passion on the touchline. He'll get the players playing with a bit more aggression, it's hard to say like he's going to instill belief and all this and confidence. I don't know about that kind of stuff, but he's going to get us more front-footed. He's going to get us playing in a certain way where we're not going to be so standoffish and we're not going to be so passive. It's going to be a different style of football. And I think that's what the players need. They need a new voice. He's got experience at big clubs, right? He's had a brilliant playing career in Italy, at Juventus, winning titles.
Defender, wasn't he?
He was a defender. But in terms of when you've got someone like Frank, whose only experiences have been at Bromby and Brentford and very small time, and his only experience being right around the mid-table, and even his playing career, he was even a player, I don't know, or he wasn't a great player, Thomas Frank. So when it comes to getting that respect from the players in terms of what he's achieved in his career, he never really done that. I think Igor Tudor is a type of personality and the type of guy that can definitely get the players on side very quickly. In terms of what his CV says, he's a guy who comes in for a short time, not a long time, but maybe a bit of a good time. That's all that needs to happen. We just need him to come in, give us a bit of a shot on the arm, get a few wins, and then job done. Get his survival bonus, and then everyone go their separate ways.
You know, as well, like, it's going to bring an element of surprise to or unpredictability to the teams that we're playing against now. Because now we're playing against Arsenal in 12 days. What does Arteta plan for? Like, how does he plan for that? You know 100%. What I mean? Because I mean, he might know the system that we're going to play if he judges Igor Tudor or previous jobs, but he doesn't know all the kind of little details of the play and everything like that. And it's going to be hard to plan for a game against us, isn't it? Particularly in the North London derby.
100%. And I think hopefully that gives us something in terms of going into that game, because we're all resigned to defeat. And we think there's no chance we get anything out of that game.
Imagine he just comes in and beats Arsenal, man.
It would be phenomenal. It'd be phenomenal. And maybe this gives us the chance that we needed to get something out of that game and get a chance of survival. And when I look at his career, don't get me wrong, it doesn't seem like a great manager. He doesn't seem like someone who's phenomenal and we're going to be flying up the table.